Could the Orange OR30 be the most filthy, nasty, and massive sounding amp that Orange has ever made? Let's find out. In any case, I do think that this amplifier proves that EL84s don't always sound so squishy and small. Anyway, so let's get to a demo song with 4 different guitars, starting off clean and getting more filthy as the song progresses. Check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think it sounded really good, quite massive and filthy. I love this amplifier so much. So that was 4 guitars through my pedal board into the amplifier. And for the entirety of this video, the amp will be fed into my Grossmann Fatbox 1x12 ISO cab, in which I've loaded up my Celestion Vintage 30, mic'd up with 3 mics, 2 SM57s and 1 MD421, sent into the DAW, et voila. Anyway, so I think this amp was released 2 years ago or so. And ever since they released this amplifier, I've really wanted to check it out. So massive thanks to the folks at Orange for sending this amp over to me. I really appreciate it. Now, I do love the OR amps. I have the OR15 as well, which is a fun little amplifier. Plenty of gain on tap, not too dissimilar from the Rockerverb, actually. I'm going to compare this amp to the OR15 later on the channel as well. And even though it's a one-channel amplifier and it looks charming, that amp is very versatile. You can get nice clean tones out of it, as well as high gain and everything in between. Same with this amplifier, as you heard, right? But this one is 30 watts, made in the UK. It's chunky, it's heavy, it has some big transformers in there. and it's equipped with 4 EL84s in the power section. Now, you hear people say this all the time. EL84s sound squishy, they sound small, they don't have enough headroom. Trust me, this amp can get so loud. This thing can get incredibly loud. And the low end is also massive. So this amplifier definitely, at least to me, proves that EL84s don't always sound small. Of course, there are amps out there that have low headroom with EL84s, like really tiny lunchbox amps and stuff, but that is not the case with this amplifier. It sounds absolutely massive. So that is cool, but it also has some unique features that make it stand out if you compare it to other Orange amplifiers. For example, we have a presence control, a cross-line presence control, as they call it, which means that it works well at any level. So that is cool. We have a headroom bedroom switch on the back to lower the wattage to use this amplifier at lower volumes. We also have a switchable master volume control next to the standard master volume control. Then your 3-band EQ, your gain control, and a 3-way bright switch, which is also something that you don't really see on a lot of Orange amplifiers. So that is really cool. It makes the amp really shapeable, and you can really get a wide range of tones out of it, right? Hopefully you heard that in the intro already. One thing that I really appreciate about this amplifier, as well as the OR15, is that they used the icons only, or the hieroglyphs, however they call them. So no lettering, just the icons to sort of indicate what the controls do. And I think that that's very charming. Very classic Orange, if you will. Of course, the amp also has an effects loop. And other than that, it's a simple beast. But again, made in the UK, super sturdy, not lightweight, pretty chunky, plenty of gain on tap, and a wide range of tones available. So let's have some fun and try out the amplifier through the same rig. I'm holding my Balaguer Espada 2024, which is an awesome guitar. It's equipped with the Hypernova pickups. And later I'll switch to another guitar as well, but we're going to start with this guitar. Right now, I have a very thick and heavy tone dialed in, a high gain tone. Let's take a listen. Plenty of thickness there. It has that signature Orange sizzle going on. But again, plenty of gain. I don't have the gain control maxed out, although it's set pretty high. But it has those Orange characteristics, right? Thick low mids, and it sits in the mix really nicely. But it has that classic signature Orange sound for sure. So especially with like palm muted chugs and stuff. It's really thick, right? And I really like that. It sounds so massive. And hopefully you can also hear that the low end is absolutely huge with this amplifier. Now, just up front, of course, you can tighten up the tone with a boost, as I also did in the demo track. I'm using the Zuta Triax for this example. It's a great boost. So that really tightens up the tone really nicely. Let's back off the gain a little bit. So that's with the boost, and then without, and with. So right off the bat, if you want to get a more modern tone, just chuck a good boost pedal in front, and there you go, right? Let me demonstrate how the controls affect the tone on the amplifier, starting with the presence control. So they call this a cross-line presence control. I'm not super technical, but I think it means that you can use this control at any level, which is convenient, right? So right now it's at around noon, and let's mess with the control so you guys can hear how it affects the tone, okay? Obviously, that's all the way off. 9 o'clock. Back to noon. Really brings out that orange sizzle. Let's raise it. So there's a lot of brightness on tap there, and that makes this amp really versatile in terms of shaping the tone to the speakers that you're using for the mix, etc. So I like that. Sometimes with the Rockever, for example, even though it's a very balanced sounding amplifier, I find myself wishing that there was a presence control, right? So I like that. Let's leave it at noon, all right? Of course, this is the master volume control. No need to let you guys hear how that sounds. Let's try the EQ, starting with the treble control. So you can really add a lot of definition and cut with that treble control, right? I'm gonna leave it at, let's say, 2 o'clock-ish. Now let's go to the mid-range control and see how that affects the tone. All the way off, almost never sounds charming with any amplifier. Let's bump it up a little bit, let's say to 1 o'clock-ish. Cool. And finally, the bass control. Let's see how powerful that is. That's all the way off. Yeah, so there's plenty of low end on tap. If you like amps with thick bottom end, this is a great amp to get, right? Obviously. Now, the pickups that you're using are going to have a great effect on the tone. I'll demonstrate that a little bit later with another guitar. So keep that in mind. But let's stick with this guitar for a second and dial down the gain a little bit so that I can let you guys hear how the bright switch affects the tone. Because with the bright switch, at least with this bright switch, the more gain you add, the more subtle the effect will be. So let's back off the gain. So that's a sort of crunchy tone right there. Right now I have the switch set to the middle, which is the darkest sound. Let's flick it to the left. This should add a gentle treble bump. We turn off the noise gate. Lower the gain a little bit. All right, again, to the middle. That's great for pedals and stuff, especially overdrive or distortion pedals. And then to the left. So especially with a more clean tone, you're going to notice that, right? Now let's go to the right, which is the most drastic sound. Very sparkly, right? That's why I'm switching to the neck pickup. I really like the chime that it adds for a more clean tone with a neck pickup. Compared to the middle setting. Much more warm, right? I have noticed that I like to keep this to the right setting, especially with more gain, since the more gain you add, the more or the less drastic the effect will be, right? Now let's lower the gain even more and get some pristine-ish cleans. It still has a little bit of edge, which I don't mind. You know what? Let's lower it even more. Raise the level a little bit. Add it back in a little bit of bass. And let's try adding some reverb. That's a really nice clean tone right there. Let's add some modulation. So that's a chorus and a reverb in the Fractal VP4. Yeah, sounds wonderful. Great clean channel. All right, let's also try the DoD rubberneck analog delay. Sounds cool, right? So it responds really well to pedals and stuff. So that's a clean tone, right? Let's go and try to make a bit of a more classic crunch tone. All right, so I've dialed in a bit of a crunchy tone with the bright switch to the right. Does great crunch tones as well. Basically, everything in between clean and high gain. All right, let's add more gain, and then I'm going to switch to another guitar. Turn on the gate there. So again, this is a passive pickup guitar into the amp. Sounds really rich and thick. Now, let's grab another guitar and see how that sounds. Okay, I've switched over to my Schecter E1 SLS Elite Evil Twin, this beauty. This one is equipped with Fishman Fluent's modern pickups, so more tight and aggressive sounding by default. So same settings as just now, but this time with a different guitar. Let's see how that sounds. Those chugs are already much tighter sounding by default just because of the pickup swap, right? That is cool. Let's add a little bit more gain, because this guitar requires a little bit more gain. Of course, with these pickups, you can go between a passive sound and an active sound. So this is the active sound. Very focused and defined. Let's switch over to the passive sound, which is more thick and dynamic. Hear how much of a difference that makes, right? Let me switch back to the active. So for metal or modern heavy styles, I definitely think that these types of pickups work really well with this amplifier. Of course, again, we can also try a boost. I'm switching back to the passive voice right now. And then we're going to enable the Zuta boost once again. That is one satisfying heavy chug. Oh my gosh, this amp sounds so filthy. It's kind of modern with the boost, definitely, but it also has a very nice and filthy grind, which is really awesome. I love it. Let's lower the gain a little bit. Let's lower the bass a little bit as well. And now for fun, I want to try my whammy pedal as well. Let's see how that sounds. Nice. Let's try the wah as well. That's really cool as well. I really like this boost pedal. But let's also try a Maxon OD808 for a more classic boost. Cool, that sounds cool as well. And finally, let's try the Digitech or the DoD chthonic fuzz. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Let's lower the gain a bit to give the fuzz a little bit of room. Let's turn the bright switch off. So yeah, that also is very filthy sounding. Anyway, I could go on for hours like this. I'm having too much fun. So this is the Orange OR30, a 30-watt beast. And you might think, oh, 30 watts, that's not a lot, right? Well, trust me, it is enough for any gig. It's versatile. It's only one channel. You can switch the master volume to the second master volume, which is cool, but you can't really go from clean to mean with a foot switch unless you're using a distortion pedal. So it is a simple one-channel amplifier, but very shapeable. And I like it so much. So thanks again so much to the folks at Orange for sending me this amplifier. Really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How do you like this amplifier and how would you use it? I'd love to know. Also, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below as that really helps the channel out, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to support this channel, you can do so by buying something at my affiliate links, like an Orange OR30 or another Orange amplifier for Tomon and Sweetwater. That really helps out the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.